Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video number 3 for this week, and just going to be taking a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the weirdness, if you will, very scientific term there, of the precipitation distribution this year and how we have had these very wet periods and very dry periods and where we stand right now with regard to some history. So let me go on ahead and miniaturize myself here so you can look at the important stuff. And so here is a graph of all of the daily precipitation events, all the way from January 1st until October 18th. And the graph actually goes beyond October 1st. It's just that there hasn't been any precipitation, only 0.01. In fact, if you look real closely, there's a little dot right there. That's the 0.01. But other than that, the whole month has been dry. And when you look at that, and obviously this stands out, the day that we had 4 inches in one day, at least to me, you look at that and it doesn't really scream out with any real message. Yes, there are more of these green things in here, but there's still some gaps in there. So I thought maybe it would be useful to look at this in a slightly different way. And so what this is a cumulative departure from normal on precipitation. So in other words, on January 1st, you're, plus or minus a certain amount. And then you add on the precipitation for the next day, and then what is normal through the second, what is normal through the third, and so forth. And so what you see here is a pattern that definitely jumps out at me more than on that first graph. So we started off very, very wet. Actually, the first couple of days of January were dry, but then we got a couple of big events. And by January 12th, we're almost 2 inches above normal for the year. And we remain above normal until the 7th of April, okay? And then we go below normal, and other than this little interval right in here, it stays below normal, and we reach our maximum departure, negative departure, on July 5th, the day after July 4th, when we are about almost 3 inches below normal for the year at that point on July 5th. And then the deluge begins, okay? So we wipe out that deficit, wipe out that 3-inch deficit by July 22nd, and then we just pile on, okay? And by the time we get to September 27th, we are almost 14 inches above normal for the year, and we are already above our normal annual rainfall all the way through December 31, okay? But then you can see that we've come down so that we're now less than 12 inches above normal because we've had such an incredibly dry October. So I thought it might be fun or interesting to share with you the 10 driest Octobers on record. Now, we're not going to be the driest because back in 2000, there was just a trace. It wasn't completely nothing, but not enough to measure. So 2000 will always be either the driest October on record or tied for it. And then 2024, we have 0.01, and the next one is 1953 and 1963 at 0.44. So we don't see any rain for the next 7 days. That carries us through October 25th. So we're going to have to pick up 44/100ths of an inch of rain in the last 6 days of October to avoid being the second driest October on record. Okay, so that's something that'll be interesting to watch. And I have seen stuff like this happen in the past. I think I mentioned this in the regular update, is that all of a sudden you get a huge rainfall event on the last day of the month, and it makes it look like you had a normal month when 99% of your rain all fell in one day. So it'll be interesting to see if something like that happens in the last 6 days of October. And then finally, let's take a look at the 10 wettest years on record plus 2024, because again, with that incredible wet spell in July, August, and September, we went above the normal annual rainfall. Okay, so we're definitely going to end up above normal for the year. It's just a matter of how much. So there you see the top 10. We are currently at 49.71 inches, and we're still the 18th wettest out of 80 years, even if we didn't have another drop the entire year. So what do we have to do? If you want to achieve the goal of it being the wettest year on record? Well, we need 10.59 inches of rain to make 2024 the wettest year on record. That's what we would have to get on the remainder of the year. And how many days are there left in this year? 74. Okay, we got 13 in October, 30 in November, and 31 in December. So 10.59 inches in 74 days, and that's what would be required to make this the wettest year on record. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll just have to sit back and wait and see. But it certainly doesn't look like we're going to make much of a dent in that through the rest of this month, and then it just remains to be seen how November and December turn out. So that's just a little bit of a fun numbers look at what's going on precipitation-wise this year and where we rank in terms of dryness and wetness. And interesting that we can talk about both, isn't it? It's been a really, really crazy year. Okay, that's bonus weather video number 3 for this week. Hope you have a wonderful Friday evening. Again, an even better weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. See you later, everybody. Have a good one.